I think it's extremely sad the way that Donald Trump has decided to put out his decision as it relates to DACA. Let's be clear about a couple of things. As one person said, one dreamer said, President Trump couldn't even show his face as it relates to doing this. I think that after everything that happened with the Muslim ban, and he thought he was, big and tough with his executive orders and putting them out there, and seeing the backlash and maybe losing some cases in court, maybe he realized he didn't have the gumption to be able to come out here and say this himself. And so therefore he has Jeff Sessions come out and make this announcement, and Donald Trump is nowhere to be seen. He puts the entire country in suspense like it's some type of reality show over the entire weekend, letting people anticipate and pontificate over what his decision will be. And then, of course, he did what everybody expected him to do from jump. This is the height of ignorance. It's the height of hypocrisy, and it shows a lack of leadership, a lack of true leadership. This is a man who said during his presidential run that he loves the dreamers, that he loves these kids, and he loves kids in general, but we all know that it was a facade. Now, let's also talk about the fact and why this is also cowardly. By kicking the ball down 6 months, he's basically saying to his supporters, I tried to kick him out, but if Congress blocks this, which we know that they will, he can say, see, I tried to do it, but Congress wouldn't let me. And therefore, he's still appealing to his base. And we all know that, unfortunately, many of us can only go to the surface level of what's said nowadays because we don't read deeply and we don't think intellectually enough to really see that we're being bamboozled, hoodwinked, whatever you want to call it. But some people will believe, yeah, Donald Trump really tried to do it. But he could start calling for deportations tomorrow if he wanted to. And whether it would happen or not, it'd be a different story. But Donald Trump is very good at giving people just enough to get them baited, to get people debating, to get people talking. But that's not leadership. Leadership provides clear direction. And let's also remember that this is just racist at its worst. The fact of the matter is, it's not just people who are Hispanic who are going to be affected. There are Indian, there are the South Korean, there's Jamaicans, there's all types of groups. But this furthers the narrative of immigrants being here, taking our jobs, particularly from Mexico, particularly from Latin American countries, and taking our jobs. And so the face that's going to be put on DACA and Dreamers has always been an Hispanic face. But the fact of the matter is, it's not just all Hispanic people who weren't born here, who came here, who are at risk of being deported. So at the end of the day, once again, the Trump administration has shown that it is cowardly as it relates to making the decisions. It is showing that Donald Trump is not a leader in any way, shape, or form. He is someone who is a deferrer at best, maybe deferrer in chief. And again, we have people who are going to be sitting here in limbo who are contributing greatly to this country, not knowing what's going to happen with them in the next 6 months, which is not only going to make their situation worse, it's going to make the entire country's situation worse. We saw just during Hurricane Harvey, people being afraid to report to shelters because they thought they were going to be deported. What's going to happen now? Are our kids going to stop showing up at school? Are some of these people who were kids when they came here, who are now adults with families, who are maybe doctors or teachers, just not going to start showing up at work? What's going to happen? This was not well thought out. But again, most decisions that come with this administration are not well thought out. They're put out there for people to deal with and throw away and like little fodder, because this is a man who's not responsible and has never had to be responsible for anyone else other than himself and maybe those closest to him. This is backwards. This is wrong. And the way that it was rolled out was cowardly. And furthermore, my hope is that we in the United States continue to do everything in our power to defend DACA, defend the dream, because everyone who dares to dream has a right to be in this country. If you are here working hard, respecting our laws, and doing your best every single day, this country should be as good as it's promised for you as well. Peace, everyone. Let's get out there and remember to continue to upstand for all of the dreamers out there and all of their families.